But if you click on Power Virtual Agents, you'll get to see the different chatbots that have been shared with you, that you created, that have been added into different teams or channels that you have, etc. I'm in my chatbots. I've created this simple combot. I can actually quickly show you the combot, and this is what I called it because it's a communications bot. I was able to add it. You can actually see here. I was able to add it as a Teams app, and no code on that, by the way. I'll see if I can quickly show you how I was able to add that. But I can have this bot, and you can see I have this conversation here, and I was getting different responses, and I was testing out, if I didn't have a topic created, what it would look like. But these responses I all generated. So it's just a bot that was created. So within the bot itself, there's so much here. Our PVA in a day, you're going to learn all about this. But the general idea is you create topics I told you about. You've got trigger phrases for topics. You start to teach it what it can do. And when you publish it, Cognitive Services within Azure is able to turn this into a much broader model. So people don't have to type in exactly what you've typed in. You're just giving it an idea of what people might be asking for and how they might ask for it. And then within any given topic, you provide a decision tree here. Let's look at the tree here. You can see based on if that topic is generated, if any of you Power Automate, it's sort of the same idea. You're able to provide responses and questions so that people can have this conversation. All no code. This is all drag and drop, just adding in new connectors. What I want to do is I want to show you the analytics, because that's what this is basically about. In the analytics, you can start to see the sessions, the engagement rate, resolution rate, abandonment rate. Now, this is, I just created this demo. I recreated it a couple days ago. You can start to see the data that started coming in. We can start to see the topics that are getting triggered. Now, I had to turn on the overlapping topics and the suggestions. This takes a little more time than just 2 days and one person chatting with it. You can kind of see these different trends and the trends over time. This is how you're going to be proving to your bosses and your project sponsors, is this worth it? Is this actually working? Now, I wanted to show you on the sessions, when you turn on the ability to store transcripts, you can then go ahead and you can see the transcripts itself, and it shows up as a CSV, and you can start to see what it is that people are doing, like what was their initial question, the topic that was triggered. You can actually get the whole transcript itself, all within our favorite app, Excel. What app wasn't just ended up in Excel anyhow, of course. And then there's billing as well. So we talked about how there's information on billing. You can see, again, this is a new tenant, but we can start to understand what the billing rate looked like. The other thing I want to show you is over on settings. There's a whole bunch of settings you can do, but one of them here is that security we saw, where we're able to talk about where this is shared with, who's it shared with. These are the people who can edit it. There's authentication, so we can say who can actually interact with it. So open would be a bot that you can then publish to a website only for Teams. This is I talked about manual, where you can set up the AAD or OAuth way beyond this conversation. I talked about client secrets and tokens. So this is for that web channel security. If you wanted to have basically an app that talks to your bot, you're able to, instead of having to authenticate via an identity, like I think username and password, you can have it authenticate via more of a shared credential via the secret and tokens and whatnot. There's just some really cool things. So I didn't talk about, like, I've kept mentioning agent transfers. There's ways that you can set this up to be able to allow the bot to transfer this to a live user way beyond what we're talking about here. There's just so much stuff that you can do, and all of this is it's all out of the box. When I created my bot, I didn't have to do anything to set up the analytics. I need to publish your bot. And what happens when you publish it is basically at this point we're sending our data, all of our core data, and we're sending it up into Azure. All this is done for you. You don't have to do any connections. And we're teaching a cognitive model, kind of think GPT-like kind of thing. And when you publish it, I've already published this. I just published an update recently. You can then, open it in Teams. You can make it available to others. If you open this in Teams, the idea here is that this is where you add the bot to Teams. This is how easy this was when I did it. So instead of open, this was said add, and I added it into the Teams catalog. Now, you have to have the authority to be able to do this, of course. Not every user can add something into the Teams app catalog, but it really is that simple to add an app, your bot, into Teams, so that I could go ahead and put it in the left nav. Pretty cool stuff.